Yeah, nah. I gotta go ahead and talk about this shit, bro. I really do, man. Coryxkenshin dropped a video, man, and I gotta say, bro, I got mixed feelings about it. I really do. A lot of the shit that he said in the video, bro, kind of weird, and then a lot of the stuff that he said in the video, okay, I get, right? But the main topic of the video and the main title for it was, "I am a regular person." No, you're not, bro. No, you're not. You're not a regular person, bro. Okay. It comes a time where like you get to a certain point as an influencer, right? And you get into a certain bubble or a certain niche where people just can't reach, or some people just are too lazy to reach, right? And you're in that bubble right now, my guy, right? And I don't think Corey really understands that at this point in time, bro, right? You're on a different level than most humans on this planet. Like, you're not a regular person in the sense of, okay, yeah, I get it. You put your pants on one leg at a time, right? Like everybody else. Like that's a given. But bro, I can't just go in and just take a trip to Tokyo whenever I want and leave my job for 3, 4, 5 different months. It's just not a thing, right? And that's for most people. That's for most regular people. You know what I mean? And so when he drops the video and says that he's a regular person, bro, to me that's like, nah, bro, you're not at all, bro. Like, you live a totally different life than most people, right? And I get it. Everybody, we all have our own sets of challenges and all that other shit, right? But Corey, you're not normal, bro. It's and it's okay, right? You're an influencer, and with that comes power. It comes with responsibility, right? Like a superhero, right? With great power comes great responsibility, or however the hell you say it, right? It's one of those type of things, guys, right? And I feel like, yes, he understands that, but at the same time, I don't think it really clicks, right? Um, and I get it, right? I really do. Like, as an influencer, I understand, bro, right? Not to an extent that you're at, but I get it, right? As far as like, you feel like you're responsible for like your fans and stuff. You feel like you're responsible for a lot of stuff and a lot of actions that they commit, right? And I feel it. I get it, right? You, once again, that comes with being an influencer, right? Um, but then again, you can't take full responsibility for what other people are doing, right? Like, for example, right? Let's say like somebody watched the Coryxkenshin video, right, and just blew up an entire hospital, right? You are not responsible for that hospital getting blown up because that individual watched Coryxkenshin videos, right? That just doesn't make sense, right? Like, people are free thinkers at the end of the day, right? Now, at the same time, you are an influencer, so you could influence somebody to feel a certain way, right? Or to have a certain lead to a certain action, right? So then again, there's responsibility on that end, right? But at the end of the day, people are on their own people. They're going to do what they do at the end of the day because they're people. That's what they do, right? I think it was another thing where he was talking about the whole panda situation, right, in his video, and I gotta say, bro, he was basically going in and he's basically saying that, hey guys, stop talking, stop talking bad about the girl, stop talking down on her, all this other stuff, right? But it's like, bro, like I said, that's one of the things where I'm going back to. It's like, everybody has their own opinion about their own situation, right? I even covered that whole panda situation, right? When she first dropped that shit, I called her stupid because at the end of the day, she's a clout chaser and she's dumb for doing what she did, right? And once again, yeah, Corey can go ahead and say, yeah, bro, don't bring it up and all this other stuff, right? But at the end of the day, bro, I am my own person and I will talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about on my channel. It is what it is, right? Just like how other influencers are going to talk about whatever the fuck they want to talk about on their channel. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So, that, like I said, that whole situation where, she's a clout chaser, which in my mind at this point, yes, she is. She's a clout chaser, right? That's just what it is, right? Because I see it for what it is, right? Now, for like the younger people that don't really understand what's going on with that situation, okay, yeah, that's fair, right? You want to go ahead and tell them, hey, you know, you don't understand the situation at hand. You don't understand the situation fully. I get it, right? You don't want them to talk about that. Okay, cool, whatever. But as a free thinker and as an influencer, right? Most people, if they see something that's trending on the internet or they see something that's, you know, crazy, it's not just your community, right? It's gonna be everybody that's gonna be talking about it, and that is what it is. There's nothing that you can do or say to, you know, change that outcome, especially since you are a big influencer, right? Since you are a topic of discussion at this point, right? And people know that they will get a lot of views for dropping that. They're going to go ahead and gravitate towards something like that, and they're going to go ahead and post videos about it and say the most popular or the most unpopular thing in that video so that they can get the most views, okay? Because that's just how social media works at the end of the day, right? So at the end of the day, once again, I feel like, yes, that is 90 majority of that is on her, right? And that's just how I feel about it at the end of the day, right? It y'all can have y'all own opinion about however the fuck how y'all want to feel, right? But my opinion is that she shouldn't have done that shit. She was dumb as fuck for doing that shit, right? And it is what it is, right? But as far as Corey goes, that's not your, you know, that's not on you 100%. She shouldn't have just brought that up, right? But then at the same time, you can say that, okay, well, Corey, you're a big influencer, right? And you know that at some point, this could probably be an issue once you get to a certain point or a certain threshold of fame, right? So it's a double-edged sword, especially when it comes to like social media, right? Um, I will say this though, right? Because I'm not a Corey hater or anything like that, right? I love Corey. I love his videos, right? I've been watching Corey since forever, dude. Right? Shit, I've been watching him before the. I want to say, slightly before the first like FNAF videos when he was doing the when he first got into horror games, right? Back when he had the messed up teeth, dude. Like farther back than that, right? But all in all, bro, you're an influencer, so like I said, you have to take what comes with that, right? So like you might not be able to go into Burger King and get yourself some burgers, right? And not have 20 different people wanting to take a photo, right? Like somebody like me, like I'm a little bit different, right? Like I see an influencer because you know, once again, you know, I know people in Hollywood, you know, I know famous people and all this other stuff. You know, I've hung with famous people before, right? I've even met Corey before, right? I'm not gonna tell y'all the details of all that, but you know, it was a small encounter. I nodded at him real quick because I know how it is, right? I don't want to be all up in your bubble, you know, asking for a photo and doing all this extra stuff because I know that 20 other people have probably already did that today, right? That shit is annoying. I just missed the fuck out of that. It's annoying, right? So I get it, right? But then again, once again, you got to know what that comes with, bro. So it's a blessing and a curse, right? Yeah, you are gonna be financially set for whatever time, right? And yeah, I love that you're doing it for the game, right? And not for like the money, like other like creators, like Kai Cenat, you know, for example, right? Who is just basically an industry plant, right? You have a love for this, and you have love for your fans. You know what I mean? But at the same time, bro, you know, you don't dictate what everybody is doing, right? Everybody's gonna feel a certain way about a certain topic. Everybody is gonna have their own opinion about a certain topic, and people are gonna feel how they feel, right? But they're also gonna take your side over a majority because they feel like they personally know you more than, like let's say somebody else does, right? We'll just leave it at that. But that's just with the whole panda situation, bro. And so once again, and then he goes in and he basically talks about the how basically he's not a saint, right? But bro, if we being real, like you portrayed yourself as like this super nice person, super nice individual when you first hopped on this platform. Now me, I tell y'all all the time, bro, watch me for entertainment, right? That's it, right? I'm not nobody's god. I'm not no teacher. I'm not no. I'm here to have a good time on stream. You know, whenever I do my live streams for everybody, And I'm just here to just basically have a good time on YouTube, bro. You know, regardless of what that looks like, and just giving my own opinion on how I feel like certain things are and how certain things aren't, right? I'm not no dick sucker, so I'm not gonna, you know, sugarcoat anything. I'm just gonna tell it how it is, right? And just how I feel about my true experience as a whole. And my chat, they'll do the same thing, right? So like we are literally free thinkers on my channel. Like it'll be a time where like I might say something, right? And then somebody might have a different opinion about whatever the fuck, right? And that'll just be what it is, right? And we'll just agree to disagree, right? These are one of those times where you kind of have to like agree to disagree, right? With a lot of things, right? Um, but yeah, as far as that goes, bro, like Corey, bro, you've literally portrayed yourself as like a super nice guy, right? And another reason why I don't want to always portray myself as like a super nice guy, right? Or just portray myself as that, just period, right? Is because I'm gonna have my opinion at the end of the day. Somebody's gonna think my opinion is wrong, right? And they're gonna probably look at it as, okay, well, this is fucked up, or this is malicious, or this is X, Y, and Z, right? Why the fuck are you saying this, right? And let's be real. I'm just gonna be just speak my mind at the end of the day. I'm never gonna portray myself as this super nice, super saint person, right? Because that's just not who I am, right? I'm just the guy who literally tries to do the right thing at times when it needs to be done, right? And that's that, right? And I just try to like live my life the best way I can, right? But no, I'm not no saint, like I said. Um, but that's just not the image I portray at all, like on YouTube either, right? It's just not my image, right? That I would want to portray, because I know at the end of the day that shit is fucking draining. And I think Corey is kind of getting to that point where it's like, okay, bro, you know, I'm 33, you know, it's draining. I done got to that point where like I'm older, right? I do love playing the horror games. I do like playing video games, right? But I got bigger fish to fry. Understandable, right? And that's kind of what I got out of the last video that he did when he just dropped like a couple hours ago, right? Y'all probably gonna get this a little bit later than a couple hours ago, but you know, this is just from what I seen, right? Um, but yeah, bro, like my thing is this, like number one, you can't control everybody. Number two, you got to understand that you're an influencer, so you do sway a lot of people's decisions at the same time, because once again, you got young, especially with the younger folks in your audience, right? If they see Coryxkenshin do something and they know that he's a good role model and this, that, and the other, right? Then they're probably gonna gravitate to whatever the hell he's talking about. Um, yeah. And then for the older people, you know, it might be something similar, but you know, they're gonna be thinking with a more open mind, right? It's gonna be a more open conversation in their mind. Okay, well, Coryxkenshin, I understand X, Y, and Z, right? And let's go ahead and get this out the way too, guys. Like he said in his video, you know, he's not a saint. You know, he once again, he has his own life to live. He once again, he's a role model, right? I am not a role model, so we'll go ahead and we'll put those two things together, and you guys see the difference between the two, right? Is that actually, let me give y'all a better example. Asmongold, for example, right? He is not a role model by any way, shape, or form, right? Coryxkenshin, for example, though, is a role model because of just how he portrays himself. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to make it make sense, bro. But if it doesn't make sense, I'm sorry, right? But hopefully somebody in the comments can help me out with that. But yeah, bro, this is not going in. Oh my god, I just hit a white. That's crazy. But yeah, bro, that's pretty much the gist of everything I wanted to talk about, guys. As far as like this whole Coryxkenshin situation, bro. It's like you gotta know what it comes with, bro. All right, and at the end of the day, you gotta know what you started with, how you started, right? For example, like I know I started from the MK community, so I know that I can get away with saying a lot of shit, right? As opposed to somebody who may have started like playing like Minecraft or Roblox or something like that. You can't say a lot of stuff, right? Because that's just the image that you've portrayed, right? That I hope that brings what I just said earlier into light. But yeah, man. All in all, bro, understand that you're an influencer. Understand that you are not a regular person. Understand that a regular person 9 times out of 10 is working a 9 to 5 right now, and he's just getting off of work, right? And you're just not that, bro. You know, you're an influencer. That is what it is, and you got to understand what that comes with. You know what I mean? And that comes with, hey, bro, if you're getting stopped to take 20 different photos, you know that is what it is, right? It is what it is, right? But all in all, bro, shout out to the samurai community for staying strong for sure, bro. Y'all gonna get through this 100%, dude. Corey, bro, keep your head up, bro. Everything is not your fault either, bro. Like, it's not. Okay? Like, people are gonna do shit. They're gonna clout chase. They're gonna be money hungry. It is what it is, bro. Continue to just be a wholesome YouTuber, bro. And just continue to just make your fans happy, bro. And have fun with the shit, bro. That's what it was about at the end of the day. That's what it was about in the beginning, bro. Continue to do that shit. Just have fun, bro. You know what I mean? But I'll leave as I go, bro, in peace, man. I love each and every one of y'all, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this little video, this little rant video about Coryxkenshin, bro. And Corey, bro, if you ever see this shit, man, just keep your head up, bro. Keep your head up. Continue to have fun, bro. And don't beat yourself up over the shit that happens over the internet, man. It's the fucking internet for a reason. It's fake. All right? I'll catch y'all, bro, in the next one. I wasn't even supposed to be here today, but this shit kind of pissed me off. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I love each and every one of y'all. This is Peeps, and I'm out. Peace.